And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to Window Treatment Friday Live, or as we lovingly like to call it, WTF Live. Um, I am Kim Seraphim, one of the partners over here at WindowWorks, located in Livingston, New Jersey. And I am joined by my friend and industry bestie.
My name is Vida of Vitalia Inc. Window Treatments, and today Kim and I are giving you some before and after examples of how just a few window treatments can completely change out the space and the window. So we can't wait to share that with you.
Yes. All right. So, our first project here. This is a project that actually one of our sales, Rich, that's on our sales team, he did with one of his clients, and I helped him out with this project. This was this client's laundry room. Slash mudroom. Now you can see here it's just a typical laundry room, mudroom, but one of the challenges was that the client wanted to add a little bit of something. You could see that she has wallpaper there on the left hand side, but the way that the sun would come in into the space, she also wanted something to help cut the glare out a little bit, because when she would be in there, whether folding laundry or whatnot, the sun would blare into the space. Now, a lot of times you're probably thinking like, oh, do we really have to gussy up a laundry room? Is it really all that important? Well, I will tell you, this is the before, which is great. It looks like your typical laundry room here. But let me tell you, when you add a little window treatment to the space, it really does change the look. So here's the before, and here's the after.
Ta-da!
Boom. We went
Yeah.
we went with a blue woven wood shade mounted outside with it was a classic style, meaning that it has the classic balance and the fabric comes off the back of the board. When we were deciding as to where we wanted to line it up to, we wanted it to line up just underneath that crown of that cabinet on the right hand side. And with going with the blue, it brought in the blue of the rug that she has there and the blue in the wallpaper. Instead of making it one shade across, we made it like a 2-on-1 headrail because she wanted to have the flexibility of
Mm-hmm.
having either side down instead of just having one shade across. So this is another great example of doing a 2-on-1 headrail, meaning that the headrail is one big piece. So you could see the valance of the woven wood is one big piece, but the shade is divided in half. So
Yep.
you can move the right side independently from the left. So
Mm-hmm.
here it's just a simple woven wood that we installed outside mount above the molding a little bit. So you brought, again, height to the top of that window. And if you're new here to Window Treatment Friday Live, Vida and I, if we have the option to go up, 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 we love to go up,
We
up,
would
up with the window
always do
treatments to
that.
make the
Mm-hmm.
windows feel, yes, to go up higher makes the window treatment or the window feel taller, the height of the ceiling feel a little bit taller. So this is just a simple thing that you can add to your laundry room to really elevate it from
Mm-hmm.
just an everyday laundry room to bring it up to a different level.
What a great job. And Kim, I have to tell you, I don't think I have ever seen a colored woven wood. Like we've done it in,
Yes.
like the Tuscan colors, all your bamboo colors.
Hmm.
We've done it way back, I don't know, 10 years ago. Nowadays, it's all about the whites and the beiges and the grays and a lot of neutrals. I don't
Hmm.
think I've ever done an actual color in a woven wood. So seeing it here is the first one for me. So see you guys, you can be in the window treatment industry for 17 years and still not have seen everything. There's always room for education. And also, I mean, how cool, like really, how you can add color with a woven wood. I would have never thought.
Yeah, yeah. And at first, the client thought she wanted to do a Roman shade, but then once it came
Mm-hmm.
down to budget, it was
Mm-hmm.
like, it is just my laundry room. I don't need to kill it when it comes to because she was doing other window treatments in the home. So she's like,
Mm-hmm.
this is kind of a little absurd to spend this much money in my laundry room. So
Yeah.
when I was going over the details in the project with Rich, and she was, she already vetoed the Roman shade. I said, oh, wait, she likes blue, right? Hold, please. And then I went and got this sample and I
That's
showed
awesome.
it to him. He goes, "This may work." And when
Mhm.
she came into the showroom, she's like, "I love this. Let's
You
do it. Done."
That's great.
And so I think it came out really great.
Yeah, I think this is a really good example of now I'm talking to window treatment pros here. You really
Mhm.
need to know your product. So I think it's really worth it to sit with your sample books and just go through them, just kind of like paging them one after another, just to kind of get in
Mhm.
your head and in your brain the different types of textures and colors and looks. And I mean, guys, we look at thousands and thousands of fabrics on in any given year. So I'm not saying that we need to memorize everything that we have, but it's just like what Kim was saying. Somewhere in the back of her head, if it got filed away that there's a woven wood in a really cool color. So when it was time to recall it and retrieve it, that's what her brain did, because at some point she really studied the types of sample books that she has in her showroom. So it's a worthy investment of your time.
Yeah, that's a rule that we have here. Anytime a new sample book comes through the doors at WindowWorks, the team here will leave it piled for me like in front of my desk just so I can quickly leaf through it
Hmm.
before they put it away, just so I'm like, okay, let me just get like a memory bank of like, oh, so
That's
that
right.
this way if someone's like, where can I find this, I'm like, oh, we have that new book that just came in, hold on 1 second.
Hmm.
So anywho, if quick commercial break, if you are new to window treatments, whether you're an interior designer who's just starting out and really getting focusing on the window treatment portion of the project, or you're a homeowner that's wanting to do window treatments in their home and you just don't know where to start, head on over to windowworksnj.com. Luann wrote an ebook, Architectural Digest is incoming, 10 things you need to know about custom window treatments. It is a window treatment 101 guide, if you will, that kind of just breaks down all different types and styles of window treatments.
Very nice. This project comes
Whew.
compliments of Kelly Ruggieri Design. Please follow her at Kelly Ruggieri Design on Instagram. Her stuff is really wonderful. And yeah, this was a very interesting space with a very interesting window treatment, right? Probably done back in the 90s, maybe 80s.
90s.
And this
Oof.
is the after. I mean, what a difference, right? Different paint on the walls, a different light fixture, and of course, a different window treatment. So instead of going to do any kind of like frou-frou and frilly type of thing that we did
Hmm.
10, 20 years ago, woven woods is all the rage nowadays, and it is one of Kelly's favorites. We use several vendors around here who have various styles of woven woods and different textures, different colors. It's a very pretty product, very natural, and in this case, very neutral looking product too. It is by the style of it. It is a Roman shade. This particular one, I think, was not the classic style that has a valance, but this was a waterfall style, meaning that it comes off the front of the board, and just really elevated the whole design. It was just an elevated version of what Kelly uh, eh, um, received when she first started the project, and we were so happy to help her with the window treatment portion of it. Pretty, right? Like
Very
so
nice. Now,
fresh and new and crisp. Just really, really fun. I'll show you again. This is the before. And here we have the after. And of course, she built in the bench and the pretty cushion and the pillows and the lovely kitchen table. So really, what a lovely, lovely design. What a great job Kelly did.
I mean, the room even looks bigger
It does, right? I mean,
than
that
what it
paint
was. It
is,
looks
yeah,
way
yeah,
bigger. Yeah.
way bigger.
So,
Yep.
and that is a good example too, um, of like placement of the window treatment. I know sometimes we often like when we're dealing with transom windows or an arch window, that is a really good example of it is okay to leave the arch open and just kind of
Mhm.
treat it as like it's its own separate entity and cover the bottom half of the window.
Yep. So moving on here, we have just a quick break to show you guys that on my website, vitaliainc.com, you can access your own immediate digital copy of a free lookbook that we give to you as a gift for visiting our site and for then following us with all of our announcements and news and newsletters. And that free gift is a curated lookbook filled with inspiration and education that we lovingly refer to as 37 and a half window treatment ideas for you to steal, swipe, and use immediately on your next design project.
Okay, so this is a project that we did for Christy Adams Designs. Be sure to follow Christy at Christy Adams Designs on Instagram. So what you're seeing here is a project that we just installed not too long ago, but you're seeing it. We actually installed it at about a month or so ago, but we measured this back in February. So this was a construction project here. And I feel like today is all about woven woods. Coincidentally, almost all about woven woods
Ta-da!
because now you're seeing the before and
That's
you're seeing this
interesting.
is the
Didn't mean
after.
it to be that way,
Yeah,
but I guess, woven woods is
no,
all the rage.
yes, yes. So, what I wanted, what was cool about this, what we did here is we did a woven wood with a detached liner. So that
Mm.
meant that the lining that's usually sewn to the back of the woven wood material, like a Roman shade, um, that would have, and it goes up and down together. This client wanted to have the flexibility of being able to have her woven wood down and still
Mhm.
see out a little bit, but then when she wants the privacy, to pull down the liner behind it. So
Mhm.
this is a we actually did these woven woods with Hunter Douglas,
Mhm.
and what we the front so the shades move independently from one another, and luckily, because it was new construction, we did have enough of an inside mount that the shade was able to sit flush, and we had that option to have, basically it's like almost having two shades in the
It's like having
window,
2 shades, 2
essentially.
headrails, 2 lift
Yeah,
systems.
yeah, two of everything. So so yeah, so I think it turned out really great. So that's really what you're seeing there in that picture, where it looks a little darker and then you have like that lighter see-through. It's
Mhm.
because the liner wasn't pulled up all the way in the picture,
Mhm.
so that, and it has a self balance. So everything when it's up can kind of the liner can get tucked behind there, so you don't really see it.
Mhm.
But that's what that stripe is, because it is an
Yep.
independent
Mhm.
liner
And
with
tell
the
us,
woven
Kim, or
wood in the front.
yeah, tell our listeners um, why someone would just want to have a woven wood without a liner. Like, I guess what I'm driving at is how woven wood really changes when you put the pattern of a woven wood changes when you put a liner behind it.
Yeah, so it definitely does change, and some patterns you actually see a little bit more when you
Mhm.
add the liner, and then some you lose that richness and that um,
Texture.
really delicate texture. Thank you. Once you add the lining to it. So this client, it wasn't more about the texture as more it was about the function. They didn't
Mhm.
want to do, a privacy layer, a sheer layer. They just wanted like a one and done kind of a product. So when we were going back and forth, this was the best solution for what they wanted to achieve, the look that they wanted to achieve. So by doing that, we were able to, when they at night, because their house is on the corner, um, and their home isn't on a busy road, but the road that you turn into is. So they wanted something that gave them flexibility with privacy and light control. So this
Mhm.
was the solution for that.
Very nice. Nice and clean, very updated.
Yes.
The whole design is very fresh
Yes.
and updated.
And another quick commercial break here. If you are new to our window treatment Friday live, it actually started as a recurring episode of Luann's podcast, A Well Designed Business. Vida and Luann would discuss the business side of window treatments as part of Luann's Power Talk Friday series. So, to get those episodes and all things Luann, head on over to luannigara.com where you can listen to all those archived episodes.
Hmm. And if one podcast wasn't enough, Miss Luann decided to start a second podcast. This one is called Window Treatments for Profit. It is obviously directed towards window treatment pros, and it is all about the business, not so much the pretty, but about how to run a better window treatment business. And she had tapped me, and I was felt very lucky and honored that she did so, to have a recurring guest seat. So once a week, every Thursday, I have a new episode that comes out in the series that we call Vida's Tip in 10, where I share a small but oh so mighty tip that allows my window treatment colleagues to run a better, more profitable, and more organized window treatment business. So wherever you listen to your podcast, make sure to download Window Treatments for Profit. Ah, this is one of our projects. Yes, how fun. So you're seeing a lot of measurements in this before picture, and that is because we use a special app, special software on our iPads where we take a picture of the room and then we're able to take notes on that picture and specifically take measurements on that picture. We still have to pull out the tape measure. We still have to do the work, but instead of just drawing boxes and arrows, we can actually do it straight on the window and not have to take a separate picture of the place. I remember doing that, Kim, actually having a graph paper and drawing boxes and then separately taking a picture. Well, now we combine the two. So that's where you're seeing a bunch of things here, but no drapes, no window treatment. So clearly this is the before, and voila, this is the after. Very dramatic. This project was done for Mira Thomas Interiors. Please follow her on her website as well as the Instagram. She is a wonderful designer in the Philadelphia area. And this is a new relationship for us. We've done a couple of projects together. I think this was maybe a third or fourth project this year. So this was a really awesome house. You can see that these ceilings are like 12 feet, and that is because it is an old historic home smack in the middle of Philadelphia. So any Philadelphians listen to me, this is Washington Square on, I think, Walnut and 7th. So you see, you know those historic old homes around the square, and this was one of them. So it's a total vertical house. So this is like 4 or 5 floors, all staircases, and this is a master bedroom in, I think, third or the fourth floor. And Mira went for a really dramatic effect here. We did the shades inside the window for privacy and for light control, and of course we did the drapes and we did the valances too. So just really cool, challenging project because number one, this is a striped fabric, and we had to pleat the drape on stripe, which means, oh, that's a good idea, Kim. I just thought if we should do a pleating on stripe episode. Let me write it down.
Okay.
And so that was kind of challenge number one, to make sure that the pleats were done so that the same stripe, the same color of the stripe showed forward. So that was challenge number one. And then the second challenge was the install, being that these are high ceilings, being that this is a walk up, being that it's in the middle of the city, center city, being that the walls are plaster. So you don't know exactly, what you're drilling into and how, how to secure the heavy window treatments in the plaster walls. So this install was definitely not an easy one by any means. But we think that the the ultimate product came out really dramatic and pretty awesome. And both Mira and her customer really liked it.
Yeah, and I mean, talk about what we said on the first slide, how much window treatments, adding window treatments just really elevates the space and changes it. It doesn't even look like the same room. Like that's how
I
much
know, pretty
adding
crazy, right?
these the gorgeous valances and the shades. And what I love here too is you can't tell whether or not the shades are inside mount or outside mount and how much larger the windows look by going all the way up. So
That is
nicely
very true.
done.
Thank you, friend. This is just another angle from the left, just to kind of see how it's good to see how the valances return to the wall, how the drapes return to
Sure.
the wall. Everything is kind of nicely in the whole window is nicely encapsulated.
Very nice. Alrighty, everyone. Well, that concludes our before and after episode. We hope you enjoyed seeing how we were able to elevate the spaces with our window treatments. If you would love a cool before and after, and you are located in the New Jersey and New York area, please give WindowWorks a call and follow us on Instagram at WindowWorks and on Facebook. We would love to help you on your next before and after project.
And if you are in the Philadelphia area and would like some support with your window treatments, we are the company who can help you do that. Vitalia Inc. Window Treatments is a one-stop shop, your go-to resource, your white glove concierge level service exclusively for luxury interior designers ready to fly first class in the world of window treatments. So we can't wait to help you with your before and after.
Alrighty, everyone. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we hope to see you next Friday. Because if it's Friday,
It is Window Treatment Friday Live, and that is when Kim and I hang out here on Facebook and on Instagram, and we bring you yet another episode of window treatment inspiration and education. And this is where we share our war stories, we share our own mistakes, all in an effort to educate you, teach you, inspire a little bit, and hopefully prevent you from making the same mistakes.
all right, have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.